Hey, I'm Elliot. You're on Rawkus Radio. We're here with Adam and John from Taking Back Sunday. How are you guys going?
Hi, great, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Good to be here.
It's our pleasure. First thing I want to ask you, you guys had your newest album, Tidal Waves, released September now. How did you find all the fans' feedback with them being just blown away by how different the sound is these days?
Oh, well, thanks for saying that. I'm going to take that as a compliment. And yeah, there's for us what was cool is back in the US we did like a smaller club tour and to where we just played Tidal Wave front to back. So, and we started that tour the day the record came out, so we got to see kind of in real time as the tour unfolded, we got to see what songs people were responding to and what they were connecting with. And then by the end of the tour, you know, there wasn't much of a difference between the first half of the set being Tidal Wave and then the other half being songs that people have known and been familiar with.
Is that why you play less songs from albums like New Again?
That honestly happened by accident. It's never a conscious thing, like, because what we do is when making a set list, just because we've been lucky enough to make as many albums as we have, so it's hard to kind of fit everything in, and for some reason those just never seem to make the cut. I don't know why.
So what's gonna happen when the old man goes? There's so many songs that we have to choose from, so a lot of times it kind of there's a certain level where it's like an issue of like what people want to hear, and so we kind of take that into account, try to balance what we want to play and what people want to hear, and it seems like a lot of times the New Again songs sort of fall towards the bottom of that list.
No, you don't know. You can beg, you can play, you can try.
Is it then quite strange when you have songs from Tell All Your Friends and then people sing them now back?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I don't know, it's not, I guess the only thing that's a little weird is that we're still here playing those songs and people are still excited. I mean, but it's weird in like the best way possible, you know?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's just weird in the sense like we all get to see firsthand just how lucky we are, you know, to be able to express ourselves that way. So and to have done it for so many years. So it's it's humbling too, more than it's weird.
Going into the rest of the year, what kind of stuff do you guys have planned? I know you're playing a few shows in America. Like I saw you doing a show in California with like the Descendants and Fiddler, like the really big festival. What kind of other stuff do you have planned for the year?
Well, we're really stoked for that. I mean, after we go here, we'll go to Australia and then stop by Hawaii on the way home, and then it's kind of just we'll be doing a lot of the festivals in the U.S. and then there's a tour in the works which we haven't fully announced yet, so we have to wait for the adults to tell us it's okay to talk about that more, and then that'll take us, you know, pretty much into fall and winter. So
is that tour? Does it start with a W? Is it the one I'm thinking of?
No. No. We love the Warped Tour, and that's the one you're talking about, yeah. And we've been real fortunate over the years to have been a part of it a few times, you know, and done stuff with them. But it's for a band, it's a pretty brutal tour, just because you're outside all the time and there's kind of nowhere to go. So I think for people going, it's a really fun time, but I think for a band it's a little more difficult. And then, but I actually saw the lineup. It looks cool for that.
I haven't seen it yet.
So,
It's secret. Top secret. Don't say anything.
I know something you don't.
Do you guys have a favorite Warped Tour memory?
Yes, I do actually. The first one that comes to mind is my buddy Tucker. He plays drums in this band called Thursday, and we were on Warped Tour with Thursday. And I was sitting outside of the bus, this little folding chair, you know, like an outdoor camping chair. And there was the bus, and then I was sitting in the chair, and then there were some like bushes, some shrubbery, some foliage over here. And then you just I heard like this rustling in it. And then so I look over, and out of nowhere, here he comes. He's on this golf cart. It's like an off-road golf cart, you know, with the big old tires. And then so like he just comes flying out of there. He has a beer in one hand and a cigarette, and he's driving with his knee just as fast as he could go. And he just goes, "Sup?" and then boom, just took off. And then about 10 minutes later, on a regular golf cart, our buddy Jimmy, who was tour managing them at the time, drives by and he's going as fast as he can in that thing, and he just kind of stops and skids, so there's dust, and then he looks at me and goes, "Adam, by any chance have you seen Tucker?" And I was just like, "That way." And then so he just went off into the night to go find him, because apparently he had stolen the golf cart. I don't know. And I'll just never forget it, because I was just kind of in the right place at the right time to witness that, you know? So it seemed like something out of a movie.
What about you, John? Do you have one?
Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind, it's not the best, but it just really sticks with me, is we were about like halfway into the Warped Tour, and we had one of the shows where we were playing early in the day, maybe it was like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and it's like 98 degrees out, and I had drank just way too much alcohol the night before, and probably been up till like 6 in the morning or something, and I'm sweating, and we're playing the show, and my heart is pounding, and there was a moment that came to my head. I said, I think I might die while we're playing the show, and then there's another part of my brain that was like, that's fine. It'll be, you know what? If you're dead, then you won't have to deal with this anymore. But fortunately, I didn't die, and I just had a moment where I thought I would, and that's it. But literally, there was a lot of great moments, but that is the thing that always sticks with me. There was like that moment. I was like, I might die. I might die here on this stage at the Warped Tour, and this is how my life will end.
Yeah. Some of those shows too, like it's just so hot outside that, and then, you know, they build the stages every day, so, but the stage is black, you know, so it attracts that heat, and it'll, like, there were times where you could feel the soles of your shoes. You had to keep on moving because they would just start to melt to the stage. So it was hot, just really hot.
The final thing I want to ask you is about Brand New, because my friend said there's a little bit of beef in there in the history and stuff, and he kind of wants to know where it's at now.
Well, so that started as something that was more of kind of like a joke, I think, but between the two bands when we started out. And then, because we were listening to a lot of like Jay-Z and Nas at the time, so we're like, oh, well, we should have a battle. Anyways, and then but then I guess people in the press and other folks online caught wind of it, and they just took it running. So now all these years later, you know, we get questions like, so what's up with Brand New? And we're just kind of like, I don't know, I haven't talked to them in like 10 years or so, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up. I think it really captured people's imagination, so you can go on the internet and read all kinds of things about it, and I'd say like a fraction of it is true, and about 90% of it is wild creative speculation, and that stuff is actually a lot more entertaining than the reality of it. So
wait, we might be ruining the mystery of the whole thing.
I've been actively trying to ruin the mystery, and I can't, so I'm just letting it. I mean, I'll acknowledge it, but yeah, I think we've even done shows where we like directly address things and like kind of tried to be specific about what happened, and people don't want to hear that. They want the wild, crazy story, so let them have it, you know? It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, they're the worst. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.